Thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries hotline. You've reached Anthony. Leave a message after the beep.
Hello, this is Derek from the Indianapolis branch of the corporate sponsor. I know that we contacted you last season to announce that we were no longer sponsoring your little podcast, but I do listen regularly just to confirm that your values are still not aligned with our corporate marketing strategy. As a matter of fact, the only redeeming quality of the Christmas Toys episode was the voicemail from Seymour of Zealots Against Dirty Discussion Show, or Zaddy. I was touched by his passion of ensuring that the airwaves are free from smut for the sake of the children. Our company would be interested in paying a large amount of money to get into Zaddy. Please provide Seymour my personal information, since the board of directors wouldn't quite understand why I listen to your podcast every week. Thank you, and I appreciate your support, as well as the support of Zaddy.
And welcome back.
Hi.
Ugh, hello.
Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 25 of Beards and Sundries.
Oh, that's right, Beardos. It is time for the final lunch break of Season 3 here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where three gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry item in each episode.
My name is Jay, and Mary Chrysler.
And I'm Anthony, and Clement Clark Moore, please forgive me for what I've done.
And I'm Joe, and up on the housetop, Dick, 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 down through my chimney with good Saint Nick. Because today's sundry item is Christmas Classics Reimagined. That's right, Beardos, to wrap up festive month and send 2023 packin', the three of us have each picked a classic Christmas tale and rewrote it Beards and Sundries style. For this season finale, sit back, relax, and let us entertain you with storytelling. Later on, we've got some more fun Beardo-submitted sundries, a relaxing something to check out for you gamers out there, and I have a fun trivia game for us this week. But before we get too far into it, how about this week's voicemail?
If you're not here for the smut, Derek, I would go ahead and just stop listening now.
But don't.
Let me just say to Seymour and the Indianapolis branch, girl, fuck them kids and fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it is the Beards and Sundries Market's policy to fuck them kids. We don't care. No minors.
No minors. Nope. Close your little ears. This isn't for you.
It's really not. But really, hard stance. Adult content should exist. Not everything needs to be catered to children. Fuck them kids.
Certainly not. Fuck them kids.
But thanks for calling. We'll get you in touch with Seymour.
Yo.
Seymour, this
Certainly,
dick.
Seymour.
He purified me. Anyways, do you guys want to get into the storytelling?
Do you want to ask me where to find sundries?
I do want to ask you where to find sundries. Joe, can I find sundries in a classic story by Lewis Carroll, A Christmas Carol? Is that what it's called?
No, we only stock Charles Dickens in this market. But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, today it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't have a group of their own. So, as three very creative gay men with beards, we are using the term to describe the wide range of topics that we cover.
Ooh. Thank you for reading about your Dickens.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought it was Lewis Carroll. Wow, my brain just broke right as soon as we got on camera today.
Yeah, that's when.
Yeah,
Just today.
That's true.
So what do you say we get into some stories?
Yeah,
I think
something
that's
festive.
great.
Well,
What do you say we go in
this?
intro order?
Oh, goody. I'm glad I can ruin this first.
Perfect.
Well, guys, I brought a great Christmas story that everyone will understand, and it's called How the Scared Little Conservative Stole Christmas.
I can't believe you actually made that. You know what? I can't believe it. Never mind. I'll shut the fuck up. Did you get this bound? Did you make this?
This taped on piece of paper.
Oh, I can't see that well. When we're recording, you get a little grainy.
Oh, that's just my mind being grainy. Are you guys ready? I'm surely going to stumble through this. Oh, and it's by Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Seuss. Every human placed on Earth liked holidays a lot. But the scared little conservative who lived among the humans did not. The scared little conservative hated holidays, everything except the Christmas season. Don't tell me happy holidays, it's Merry Christmas because Jesus is the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all was that maybe his brain was 2 sizes too small.
Amen.
But whatever the reason, his head or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the humans, staring down from his raggedy-ass porch with a sour, smug frown at the warm-lighted smiles of people below in town. For he knew every human on Earth was living in sin, and that sent his tiny little mind into a busy tailspin. And men marry men, it's gross, he snarled with a sneer. God disapproves, and Christmas is here. Then he growled, while his pudgy face sways, I must find a way to stop allowing the gays. For tomorrow, he knew, all the humans would go on and wake up bright and early, they'd ignore QAnon. And then, oh, the loving and kissing and being happy with each other. That's one thing he hated, the fact they could be happy with each other. Then the humans, young and old, would sit down to feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on avocado toast and breads full of yeast, which is something the small-minded conservative couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked least of all. Some of the humans, the tall and the small, would dress pretty and flashy, and in their best drag they'd shine. They'd read books to children during a drag reading time.
Gasp.
They'd read, and they'd read, and they'd read. And the more the small-minded conservative thought of drag queens reading, the more the small-minded conservative thought, I must stop this with a town hall meeting. Why, for all my life, we've always treated gays bad because of my toxic masculinity I've always had. But how? Then he got an idea. A stupid idea. The small-minded conservative got an idiotically stupid idea. I know just what to do, the small-minded conservative laughed in his throat, and he bought a cheap MAGA hat and a We the People coat. And he chuckled and clucked. What a patriotic plan! With this coat and this hat, I'll raid the Capitol. I can.
Oh, my God.
I love writing this, by the way.
Yikes.
All I need is a posse. The small-minded conservative looked around, but since he's in a blue state, none others were to be found. Did that stop the old small-minded conservative? No, he simply said. If I can't find a local posse, I'll join a national one instead. So he called his state rep, then took his blue pill. Because his huge ego was a sign, his underwear he could not fill. Then he packed a gun and his Trump 2020 flags. In his rusted old one-ton, while driving, it chokes and gags. Then the small-minded conservative said, "Trump!" and the truck drove on. Toward the state capitol, he's radical and logically gone. All the humans seemed happy and loved fill the air as he drove through the town, noticing them, but did not care. He finally reached the capitol and joined the crowd on the square. "Trump's #1!" the close-minded conservative hissed, and when other conservatives spoke, they raised up their fist.
Ugh.
They chanted relentless in their monotonous pitch and thought they were changing the world without a single glitch. "We got gassed by the police for a moment or two, then aggressively pushed forward because we're now a coup. We think of ourselves only as we pushed in a row. You stole the election," they screamed and said, "Let's go." Then they slithered and slumped through the Capitol so unpleasant. Around the whole building, the legislators weren't present. Screaming and looting and damaging, it was dumb. The whole world watching, most everyone just numb. And the president did nothing but wallow and cry, and when the protesters left, people would finally pry. Then the scared little conservatives slunk back to their nests, not realizing what they just did had nothing to do with gays, those pests. Then they got back on Facebook to complain in a flash. The queer community, they went right back to bash. Then they continued to rant and rave about people's rights with glee. "And now," grinned the small-minded conservative, "we'll whine more and more. You wait and see." And the scared little conservative latched onto their narrative and started to shove their rhetoric and nonsense every way, even tying notes to send them on a dove. They turned to the more social media, probably while taking a poo, saying they'll clean up the moral fabric for our life we will rue. The scared little conservative had a relative. It was his daughter. She announced she was gay, which inside this made him even hotter. She stared at the scared little conservative and said, "Love is love. Why are you taking the rights of the group I'm part thereof?" But you know, that scared little conservative thought he was smart and so slick. He thought up a religious sentence and thought it up quick. "You can be changed easily at a religious camp," he lied. "I know a friend's kid who was gay, went there, and is now on the other side. So I'm taking you there because I love you, my dear. They'll fix you right up so you can become normal here." I should be reading in story times. And
Shut the fuck up.
And his fib slipped past his child as he patted her head, and he read her the Bible, then sent her to bed. And when his daughter went to stew in her sleep, he went to the Google, because now he's in deep. Then the first thing he searched was the conversion therapy camp, but quickly had to get up, for his brow was damp. On the walls, pictures of his daughter, lit up by the lamp. And the one that made him smile was a memory he was fond, was the one where she was hiding within the leaf pile. Then he did more searching, for more correction of gays, leaving history much too clear to show his evil ways. It was 1:15 dawn, his daughter still in bed, she's deep in her snooze while his face was still red. He packed up his rusted truck with luggage and a Bible, filling his head with Facebook posts all peppered with libel. 300 miles down the boring highway to hell, he mumbled with anger and religious jargon he'd tell. "It's Adam and Eve," he so angrily grunted. "Joe Biden did this," for an excuse he hunted. His daughter was heartbroken, all he heard was boo-hoo. "If you don't stop crying, I'll give you a reason or two. Just go to this camp, you'll be good as new." "What's this?"
Voice.
Right. "What's this feeling?" he uttered to himself. "It's a feeling of pain." So he stopped the car and his eyes started to rain. And he did have something hitting his feels. It was nipping him right in the heels. But the tears weren't bad. Why, they really felt nice. It can't be so, wiping his eyes with his big fuzzy dice. He stared
The rhymes are sending me.
Gymnastics. you have gone through so far.
Trust me, I know. It was hard to write this. Leave me alone.
I love it.
He stared back at his daughter, his eyes red and blurry. Then he said, "Please forgive me. Pronto, hurry." His daughter was gleaming. She felt so tall, no longer small. She was crying without any reservations at all. He hadn't gone through with sending her away. Maybe he's turning around. It'll be okay. And the scared little conservative, with his face buried in arm, sat there puzzled how he could give her such harm. "You stole my heart when you were a child. You were so little, fun, and wild." And he'd puzzle for days after till his puzzler was sore. Then the scared little conservative thought of something he hadn't before. "Maybe it's not a choice," he thought. "She wasn't a problem. Maybe I've acting a fool and shouldn't be solemn." And what happened then? Well, in blue states, they say, the small-minded conservative's brain had its toxic thoughts finally go down the drain. And the minute his brain stopped being so judgmental, he became so much more tolerable, sweet, and sentimental. And he brought back his daughter to a home with open arms. And he himself came out and is now full of the charms. The end. Lesson learned.
Bravo.
The small conservative's gay.
I love it. There was a moral to the story.
Quick question. I
Yes.
thought these were supposed to be fiction. Why did you just tell me a story about Ron DeSantis?
Oops.
Wait, what's
I just got a
who's that guy who's
98% on
putting
plagiarism.
George Santos.
Oh, God.
That's him. This is about him, right?
Well, I didn't buy this with somebody else's credit card, so I can't be him. But
Well,
I
fantastic
loved it.
job, Jay. Way to set the bar high.
thank you. I had a lot of fun writing that. But then I also stressed a
Wow.
lot because, God, that's hard to do that.
So Jay's had like a moral and a narrative, and what you're about to get from me is just pure smut.
You know what the thing is, though, is I had no intentions of making it that way, and then it just kind of wrote itself, and I was like, oh, huh,
That's how it always works.
oops.
Yeah. You start on the train and, yep.
Because I was literally
Well,
going
good
to
on
write
you. I liked
smut
it.
about some gay guy, like, trying to steal something, and then it turned into, like, a literal story about radical conservatives.
No, it's good. I like it because it kind of shakes everything up because you're about to get an excess of smut from me.
Well, great. I'm glad that I could balance it out some.
Yeah.
That's right. Up next is Anthony. What do you have for us?
Well, Joe, I'm really glad that you asked because what I've brought for you tonight on this cold Christmas Eve is a visit from Saint Nicholas.
Ooh.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the market not a twink was flirting, not even for vodka tonic.
What?
The bears were hung like chimneys with hair, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The otters were nestled all snug in their slings, while fistfuls of Dom Daddies stretched their O-rings.
Ow.
And Jay in his kerchief and Joe in his harness had just settled their bells for the long winter darkness. When out in aisle 4 there arose such a clatter, they sprang from the break room to see what was the matter. Away to the Sundries they flew at a reasonable pace, and what they found there brought a shock to each face. The glow of the fluorescence on freshly spilled wine gave a luster of fluorescence to the wet floor sign. When what to their bag-riddled eyes did appear but an extra-large sling and 8 furries dressed as reindeer. With such a huge package so round and thick, they knew in a moment this must be St. Dick. More rapid than eagles his bottoms they came, and he grunted and moaned and called them by name. Now Asser, now Go-Go Dancer, now Fister and Fistin, on Cummy, on OK Cupid, on Fondler and Piss Pig.
Not Tommy.
Not piss pig.
Oh my god.
Of course, Piss Pig's closest to the sleigh.
I mean, it had to be. To the window, to the wall. Now bottom away, bottom away, bottom away all. As holes that before the butt plug stretch, when they meet with an obstacle, they take a deep breath.
Gotta get past that in second ring.
So on to all the dicks and dildos they flew, with slings full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a grunting they heard from behind, they glanced to their butts, and St. Dick did they find. Before they were able to so much as turn around, each of their chimneys St. Dick did come down. He was covered in fur from his head to his tube, and his body was slick all over with silicone lube. A large metal ring set around his cock. It was the width of a can and as long as a tube sock. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. He clapped their rosy cheeks and popped both their cherries. His DSLs were ready for fun, and the beard on his chin was covered in fun. The stump of his pipe crossed both their teeth, and in a not-so-jolly voice, St. Dick said, "Hey, no teeth." He had a ruggedly handsome face and a round, big belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of petroleum jelly. He was chubby and plump, his ginger hair shining, and he made them both bottom despite all their whining. A wink of his eye and a hit of some poppers, and soon they were ready for more than just shoppers. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And wiping the sweat from his brow, he gathered his furries, not even saying chow. He got in his sling, and to the bottoms gave a grunt, and away they all flew, taking with them Jay's other nut.
Not the other one.
But they heard him exclaim, ere he was drugged from sight, "Happy Dickmas to all, and to all a good night."
Oh, Anthony.
Wasn't that wholesome?
I kind of want that book read to me on Christmas Eve. Cummy was close, but Piss Pig was
Piss Pig was what brought it over.
was the straw that broke the bottom's back.
I wrote this on my work computer, and I was like, why don't I have like a key logging software?
I'm gonna save this and email it to myself.
I did exactly that, but I saved it to my
sounds
local
right.
drive.
Mine doesn't rhyme. It's
It
just
doesn't
gross.
have to.
Yeah, but that's
It
perfect.
doesn't have to.
Because now everyone's going to be like, oh, thank God we can get to the adult stories.
Yeah, mine's for the adult crowd.
PG-13 for sure.
I'm really glad I didn't go sexual now because I loved how you did that perfectly. So
I started writing and I was like, wow, this is all going to be... I actually had to rein myself in a few times because I was like, no, it still needs to also be funny and not just fucking porn.
are we reading erotic literature on our
That's what I was trying to avoid, was making it just plain erotica, because for a minute I was like...
But Anthony, I swear, you could actually write that into a adult funny book to put out in adult stores. I would buy it.
Yeah.
I would host Christmas Eve parties every year, and before I send everyone home, I'd be like,
Everyone gather around.
If you would like me to write a short book of adapted erotica from classic literature and poetry, let me know.
Dress up as
Maybe
your
I
favorite
will.
character from the book, and then Piss Pig walks through the door.
Good Lord. Well, Joe, what do you have for us that
Yes,
doesn't
Joe.
rhyme?
Please tell us. In front of my real fire behind my head.
So
In
authentic.
your 720p.
No, oh no, I don't think I clicked 4K. Never mind, you're right.
Nope.
All right. Well, my story is called Rudy the Red-Tipped Go-Go Boy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Rudy.
Once upon a time, there was a young go-go boy named Rudy. He worked at the North Pole, the strip club over in the gay district that was also located in the North Pole. Rudy wasn't like all the other dancers, however. He had a very unique appendage. At the very tip of his special package, he had the brightest, shiniest red mushroom tip there ever was. Rudy hid this from the other dancers for a very long time, until one fateful evening when a very drunk elf was enjoying Rudy's dancing so much that he stripped Rudy bare right there on stage, exposing the bright shining tip for everyone to see. Vicious mockery came almost immediately from all the other dancers working at the North Pole that evening. They mocked him, they took photos for their Grindr messages, and they even spread the word to all the other dancers who weren't there that night. Why, word even got all the way to Garth Brooks. He's Santa Claus in this story.
Ooh. 15-year-old me would have been so hot by this.
Rudy was devastated and ran all the way back to his studio apartment. He decided right there and then that he was going to leave the North Pole and find somewhere he could dance in peace, somewhere no one would mock his unique and shiny rod. It was just then that Rudy's phone began to ring, and when Rudy heard Padam Padam by Kylie Minogue playing, he just knew that it was his best friend, an elf named Dermy, who was unique in his own way. You see, Dermy had no intention on being a boring elf, wasting his life making sex toys for all the naughty ones of the world. No, sir. Dermy wanted to be a dermatologist, and by golly, no one was going to stop him.
So is he a dermatologist by want? Like, did he choose Dermy as his name, or is it just complete coincidence?
That's the mystery. Ooh.
Anyways,
Moving on. The phone call from Dermy was exactly what Rudy needed, and they hatched a plan right then and there. They would set out from the North Pole, and they would head right for the gay Mecca, somewhere no one would mock Rudy, and there would be a perfect skin clinic for Dermy to open. Puerto Vallarta!
Oh, that is gay.
On their way out of the North Pole, they came across a large, thunderous, and very handsome mountain man named Come On Pornelius, who had made it his mission to get to a faraway land known as Palm Springs, a land of opportunity, as he claimed. He offered to accompany Rudy and Dermy at least that far on their trek, offering protection, his beard, and lots of body hair to keep them warm on their journey.
God.
After many, many miles of travel, with Rudy leading the way, of course, Dermy preparing the blueprints for his new clinic, and keeping Come On entertained with multiple pimple-popping videos, the shimmering lights of Palm Springs shone on the horizon. As they traversed this magical land of desert heat, neon lights, and various gay pool events, Rudy noticed a faint sound of sadness, and the unmistakable sound of a bottle of gun oil being popped open. They made a slight detour, and found themselves in a small deserted parking lot, behind a very shiny new motel. Yet, for how bright this motel was, the spirits in this parking lot were anything but. Why, there must have been at least 20 very sad-looking sex toys, or at least that was what they appeared to be. Rudy, Dermy, and Come On approached slowly, and the first sad little sex toy looked up at all three of them with a deep sadness in his eyes. "Well, hello there, you three," he said, with a slight glimmer of hope entering his gaze. "We are the Misfit sex toys, and we live in this deserted parking lot," he explained. "Why, we were all so very excited to have new homes for Christmas, but sadly, no one could afford any sex toys after paying to stay at Trixie Motel, and we were all the wrong shape for anyone to want us," he managed to say before tears began to flow from all of them. "How would you like to be a spiky butt plug?" one of them cried out. "Or an omnipositor that squirts jelly?" another one exclaimed. "How could anyone love a string of anal beads that are square?" yet another one wailed.
Anthony.
"We're all misfits!" they cried out together. Now, that simply isn't true," exclaimed Rudy. "You see, I'm somewhat of a misfit myself," he explained as he pulled down his red and white jockstrap. The light emitted from his South Pole instantly had all the sex toys staring in awe, as they had never seen a tip so very shiny, as if it were a beacon of hope. "See? Surely there's someone in this place who's looking for a toy so extreme, so dangerous, and so unique," Rudy proclaimed. "He's right!" one of them exclaimed from the back, and cheers erupted from the little crowd of curiosities. A tear came from Rudy's eye as the freaky little toys rejoiced, teamed up, and ran off into Palm Springs to find the kinkiest owners they could lodge themselves into. Come On began to wipe his own tears away, as this meant it was time for goodbyes. He had grown so very fond of Rudy and Dermy over their travels, and had even considered accompanying them all the way to their destination, but sadly, he had no passport. However, before they could begin any form of goodbyes, Rudy's phone lit up, and a very familiar face showed up on the screen. Why, it was none other than Garth Brooks. He answered the call as quick as he could, and a very distraught voice came over the line.
From his 2003 porn picture with, like, his everything showing just right above his penis.
Yeah, that one. That's the picture that showed up.
I remember that one.
Rudy! Garth cried out. There's been a terrible blizzard, and none of the dancers can see through the cocaine on their the snow blowing in all directions. There's only one dancer I can count on to save Christmas. We've been looking all over for you. Rudy couldn't believe it. Finally, someone needed his help to save the day. He didn't hesitate for an instant, and got the first flight back to the North Pole, promising Dermy and Common that he would be back as soon as he could. As Rudy arrived back at the North Pole, he saw the bar was dark, the doors were shut, and he went around back to investigate. To his horror, all the dancers had no idea where they could go, as the snow was so thick that it covered all the lights and streets. They were also themselves covered in white, but Rudy suspected that that wasn't snow. Garth Brooks burst through the back door of the bar, his sack full of gifts, and the bag over his shoulder full of presents. "Rudy! You're just in time!" he exclaimed, as all the Go-Go Boys turned to look. "You know what to do, Rudy," one of them said, as all the others looked on expectantly. Rudy did, in fact, know just what to do, and mustered up all of his energy and freed his shiny tip from that jockstrap that had been certainly working overtime lately. The light was so bright and brilliant that all of the other Go-Go Boys admired it in all of its glory. Garth smiled with a proud twinkle in his eye, and a naked twink on each thigh. Hey, mine did rhyme for a sec.
Good job.
Way to go.
As Rudy strapped into his harness at the front of the train of dancers, the sleigh took flight and left the North Pole far behind. It was a magical night of gift-giving, with Rudy's shining tip leading the way safely the entire time. After what seemed like an eternity, Garth finally proclaimed that their work was done, and how proud he was of Rudy. "All right, young Rudy, we have done all we needed to do. Looks like it's time to head back to the North Pole." "Actually, Garth," said Rudy, "there's one more stop we need to make," as he pointed his shining tip straight toward Palm Springs. They journeyed forth, and upon landing, Garth was so very happy to finally meet Dermy and Come On, and they all shared hot cocoa in the hot tub, as Garth listened intently to all of their travels along the way. "Well, Rudy," he said, "it seems as though you found your true family, and I couldn't be more proud of you. But it appears that the storm has passed, and I must get my dancers back to help get the bar ready for tonight's white party. You've more than earned your way out, but there's one more gift, it seems, and it appears to have 3 very special names on it." To their surprise, a gift had appeared at Ruby, Dermy, and Come On's feet, addressed to all of them. They excitedly opened the box as fast as they could, and they cried out joyously as they pulled out 3 first-class plane tickets right for Puerto Vallarta, along with a deed to Dermy's brand-new skin clinic. Now, Come On began to protest, but then after a knowing wink from Garth Brooks, opened his ticket envelope, only to find a brand new passport, not only with his own name, but just the absolute gaggiest photo of him. Tears sprang from his eyes as he embraced Rudy and Dermy, and the 3 of them scampered off to the airport, Rudy's light leading the way, looking back only to wave goodbye to Garth Brooks and the dancers. Garth suddenly felt a small tug on his bootstraps, and looked down. Could it be? A misfit sex toy? He'd only heard stories about these, and had deemed them a thing of legend. It was indeed a purple, glittery replica of his own genitals, but somehow even bigger. "Well, ho, ho, ho," he screamed out. "You're coming home with me." The misfit sex toy beamed happily, knowing exactly where he would fit in from now on. The end.
You know, I'm impressed by all of us. That was amazing.
Really did a good job. I like that you guys' stories were so wholesome.
Oh, one wholesome, definitely. There was a lot of whole.
I also, the whole time, just kept thinking, like, why doesn't Rudy have Dermy check out his tip?
Because they're best friends and they don't want to show.
Hey, can you take a look at this? And he's like, it's like lit up in his cheeks.
So there's one thing that I've noticed we all three missed out on.
What's that?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
This wasn't
Sort of a
noir.
Halloween thing. Yeah, it's sort of a Halloween.
We had so much opportunity and we left her out.
Well,
Jamie Lee Curtis did not want to be on this journey, believe me.
could not fit Piss Pig and Jamie Lee Curtis into the same poem.
Story. I just figured Jamie Lee Curtis could at least be like, oh, yes, the empty parking lot of misfit sex toys. Thought maybe she could fit in there.
Oh my god, I like the inclusion of Trixie Motel though.
That was
As soon as you
perfect.
said that, I was like, he's gonna talk about Trixie Motel.
Oh my god. The room rates at Trixie Motel are sky high.
Insane.
Doesn't shock
They're
me.
Insane.
Well, Beardos, we hope you enjoyed that trilogy of tales. And plenty of tail, for sure.
But do you guys think it's time for a commercial?
I do.
I think we need to cleanse ourselves with a commercial.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, the Beards and Sundries Book of Holiday Erotica.
It's Christmas time. And I know that sometimes Santa Claus makes you hot. Jingle my bells. And that's why this month on special at the Beards and Sundries Market, it's the Beards and Sundries Book of Holiday Erotica. Featuring your favorite stories like Frosty the Hoe Man. What are you doing with that carrot? I've been real bad Santa. What's in your sack? A Christmas Whores story. That's pretty explanatory. The Polar Hole Express. It's about being in a train of men. And if you buy the deluxe package, it comes with audiobook versions of all of the listed favorites, plus some additional extras, like Charlie's Brown Eye Christmas. What line is it him doing under that blanket? Cover Me in White Christmas. A sexual musical. National Lampoon Christmas Vacation Orgy. Featuring Cousin Eddie. And your favorite, Home Alone and Horny, featuring the voice of Zelda Rubinstein. This house is not clean. With special guest Ted Cheerios. A fictional Republican from season 1 of our podcast. So come in today to pick up your deluxe copy of the Beards and Sundries Book of Holiday Erotica. Because when Santa slips down your chimney, he wants you to be hot and ready for his gifts. We love you, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. And go get hot right now.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
Well, I don't know what you guys think, but I certainly think that book puts the rod in erotica.
You mean the rot?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Because those stories are just filthy rotten.
Right, there you go.
I think it puts the smut in nothing that rhymes, just it's smut.
Frosty the Hoe Man?
I think it puts the smut in your butt. Oh!
Oh!
Order now and get a free Beards and Sundries dildo. It's spiky.
It comes with its own fuzzy dice.
We got it from the Misfits section.
Fuzzy fucking dice.
It's the fuzzy dice to dab your eyes with and then hang it in your car. Anthony, I feel like I should edit the webpage with just your story for Christmas Eve and be like the night
for
before
it.
Christmas,
Do it.
and it's just your smut on the internet.
Just do it. Put it out
Our
there.
website's
The
Get
best place for
flagged.
his smut to be.
I've put a lot more smut out on the internet than that, so might as well just put this out there too.
Yeehaw! My favorite story was the one about Zelda Rubinstein and Ted Cheerios.
I keep forgetting the Zelda Rubinstein thing until you guys bring it back
I
up.
touched your bones and then you touched my body.
And then I rode your bone.
My pants are clean.
And then I douched before we started, and I said, "This vagina is clean."
Okay, well, Jay, do we have any Beardo submitted sundries this week?
Yes.
Good God.
We do
And they
have-
say we derail this. Like it's
Oh.
not Joe out here just doing all his bullshit.
Oh, goodness. Okay,
welcome.
so it was actually a really
Anyways.
quiet week, and I know a lot of people are busy, so I'm not going to shame anyone for that. But I did hear from Shanae.
Girl, it is busy
I
this
know,
week.
I'm exhausted already, and we're recording on a Tuesday.
So
but
who'd
I-
you hear from first?
I heard from Shanae. And do you remember how
Hey,
she
girl.
announced that she was going to the flagship? Oh, no. Maybe she just told me. She was going to the Mall of America, and so she was going to go visit the flagship Toys R Us. And
Cool.
she did it.
Nice.
And so it's a picture of Shanae as she visited the store with her sitting on the bench
Aw.
seductively next to Jeffrey the giraffe.
That's the giraffe you want to be seductive with for the free
right.
toys.
I mean, come on, get
Yeah.
the toys. Not the misfit ones, the real ones.
He's got
Talk
that
about
really
throwing some
long
neck.
neck.
Oh, are they necking over there? You two necking?
Oh my God, you're so old.
You kids necking over there.
Anyways.
Well, thanks, Shanae. That's awesome.
thank you, Shanae.
I love the Mall of America, so that's cool.
It is. It's a fun little place.
Yeah, just this little place, you know.
A little place over the hill.
It's a little place I know
Just the
about.
Mall of America.
Yeah, there's a little cozy hole in the wall place called Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, Lord. And that's all I kind of really heard from and got content from, because otherwise it was just random conversations in our social media stuff. And so I just did a couple polls on threads and things like that. Like, for example, I asked if I should get really drunk at my company Christmas party on Monday night, and
The answer is yes.
69% of the people said yes.
Oh,
So actually-
definitely meant to be.
I actually had
That's rude.
more people supporting me than to not be irresponsible than I expected, but I ended up being sober because, well, I had an 8 a.m. meeting the next day I didn't want to be hungover for.
Smart.
I do have a small Beardo submitted sundry from Beardo Jason, and
Oh, hi, Jason.
regarding the comment that I made asking him whether or not all corgis were assholes or if that was a geographic thing, he said, to answer your question, corgis come in two flavors, douchebag and space cadet. And Ricky, our corgi, is a douchebag.
Yes, Jason, that's very true.
Jason also used the word bacchanalia correctly, and I was really excited about that, but I haven't messaged him back. I need to message him again. I'm very sorry.
He's a fancy guy. He can use fancy words. We were actually supposed to have lunch last week because he was down in Oklahoma City, but I caught some disease from New York City, so I felt terrible last week. So next time you're down, let me know. So I feel substantially better, but my sinuses are still clogged, and so like I'm still having drainage, and I sound terrible sometimes.
The way you made it sound through text earlier, I thought you were going to be like really scratchy and hard to hear, and I was worried, but you sound fine.
Earlier, I was. And then, like, I left work, got home, didn't talk for a while, went to the dentist, talked for a smidge, and then I was there for 2 hours getting work done, didn't talk for a bit, and so I'm doing fine now.
Weird.
But, like, last night and all morning at work, I sounded rough. And I just thought it was
you were
going to sound
gonna
like
be
shit
like-
today.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be one of those things where it was going to be very, I don't know, just... I didn't expect this.
Trust me,
Just put it that
I
way.
expected the same. Especially reading the story, I thought it was going to give out quick.
No, you made it all the way through.
Look at me go.
Yeah, all the way to fuzzy dice.
Well, it was important. Had to get there.
Anyways, Does anybody else have any Beardo submitted sundries? Or
I don't have anything this week.
well, then, does anyone have something to check out?
Yeah, who does?
I've got one this week. Well, it's not festive per se or holiday themed, but it is a game that I've seen floating around on TikTok a bunch, and I've seen a lot of people playing it. And it's a video game called Good Pizza, Great Pizza. And what it is it's kind of like the Flash games that we all grew up with, where you kind of point and click and you make food and you're serving customers. So what you're doing is you're the owner of a small pizzeria, and you are just filling orders. You're saving up money from each day to buy upgrades to your shop, buy personalizable items, find ways to make the pizza faster so you can get it to the customer faster. And it's getting really good reviews. It's currently at 4.6 out of 5 on Google Play. It's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam, which is a big deal. And it's actually sitting at 4.7 out of 5 on the App Store for Apple right now. You can also play it on Nintendo Switch, and I believe that is the only console it's on, but it's also on PC. So if you guys want to check it out, it's a little game called Good Pizza, Great Pizza. It's a relaxing little sim where you just have a little pizzeria and you just make pizza all day. And that sounds pretty yummy to me.
I was actually just thinking about games this weekend and how I love them until I start advancing. For example, Joe, like I started getting more businesses on Grand Theft Auto, and suddenly I'm like, well, now I'm just logging in to do work.
Then don't ever play Animal Crossing, because that's what Animal Crossing is.
Yeah, well, and it's like The Sims. I used to like The Sims, and then all of a sudden, like, here I've got like 8 households, and they're all trying to go to work and all, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I'm just busy. I'm logging in because it's an obligation
Animal
to
Crossing
do this.
is a fucking job. Like, it legit is just a job. You go in, and then every day you log in so you can do your little things and advance your island. Then on Sundays you have to buy turnips, and then you got to figure out how to sell the turnips at like the best price.
If you need a fun little video game to check out and you've just got some time to kill, just check out Good Pizza, Great Pizza.
Thanks, Joe.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe. Joe's doing all the heavy lifting this week because
Thanks,
you also
Joe.
have a game for us, don't you?
I do. You guys think it's game time?
Hell
I
yeah.
do think it's game time.
All right, so for game time this week, this is a game that I'm calling Guess the Year Christmas Songs. All right, I compiled a list of songs that I found from timeout.com. This is a list of 13 songs. I'm going to give you the song and the artist. Your job is to tell me what year that song was released.
Boy, I'm pretty sure Jay's going to win this one.
I was like, I'm going to guess around, but it's not going to be a good hit for me.
Jay is like probably oddly equipped to do this specific
Really bad at years,
Game.
though, so...
Yeah, but you know more about Christmas songs than I do.
You guys get 3 guesses apiece, and we'll say whoever gets closest to it
Okay.
if you don't guess the exact year.
Okay,
Okay?
cool.
Number 1, Last Christmas by Wham.
1987.
1983.
No and no.
82.
No.
85.
No.
84.
Nope.
Damn it.
88.
No! You guys were so close, but Jay was the closest. It was 1986.
God, that was my other choice. And I was like,
You danced right around it.
I did. I
You
literally
guys
just skipped
circled
it.
right around it. Yeah.
God damn. It's funny because I just looked at a Wham song today because I was referencing 80s music at work. I can't remember what the song was, but it came out in 1981.
Wake me up before you go.
Ah, that was it. God damn it.
I knew it.
I was like, there's only like 2 or 3 of them. All right, number 2, Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley.
54.
No.
Ooh, I'm probably way early with that. aren't I?
59?
No.
60.
No.
Is it 58?
No.
57?
That's it. 1956.
Thanks, Joe, for giving it away.
I love your facial
Okay.
expressions. Thank you.
All right.
I just love that. No.
I thought about telling you guys if you're in the right decade, but fuck that shit. All right.
No, I wouldn't either.
Number 3. I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas by Gala Peavy.
What? Who?
Is that 1956?
No.
1932.
No.
Actually, I guess I'm thinking of the version I know. That doesn't mean it's kind of the... I don't know who sang it, though.
1938.
No.
1948.
Nope.
1942.
Nope. And I believe that was 3 guesses apiece, was it?
It was for me, at least.
I think I only did 2, I think.
Okay.
Did I?
I don't know. I wasn't
I
paying
don't know.
attention to yours. That's not my job.
1950.
That was closer, but no. It was released in 1953.
Oh.
Now, I thought it was Shirley Temple.
Oh, definitely not.
I
No.
thought...
No.
I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but either way.
But a fun fact, Gala Peavy, the young girl who sang the song, was actually born in Oklahoma City.
Oh.
So that was kind of interesting.
I'm sorry, Galen.
want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yeah, that little nasally voice, like that. Yeah.
So you're saying that I have a future in Christmas music.
You're doing
That
great.
nasally voice.
Yeah, you'll do
So
fantastic.
I think Jay got the closest with his guess, right?
Leaps and bounds. The highest one I did was 42.
Okay.
I was like, everyone was sad with World War II, so we needed a little happy.
So we're asking for weird things.
Yeah, hippopotamuses for Christmas.
All right. Number 4. She's fully thought at this point. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
96.
No.
2001.
No.
98?
No.
99.
No.
2000.
Nope.
Damn it.
Am
This
I?
your last one, Jay.
I don't know, 2002.
Your first guess was closest, Jay. It was actually 1994.
I was like, I don't remember it being that early. And then I started questioning myself.
Well, it's because we probably didn't listen to it at that age.
I know I wasn't a 6-year-old listening to Mariah.
All I can imagine is Joe going,
I remember Mariah Carey was one of my beards because I had like a poster of her on my wall. It's like, oh, I love Mariah Carey. She's so hot.
Yeah,
And it
she's
wasn't.
smoking hot.
That was what it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love her figure.
What a sweet,
that.
sweet fantasy baby, indeed.
I want to touch her butterfly.
Oh, God. All right, number 5. Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano.
75.
No.
83?
No.
79.
No.
What was your first guess, Jay?
75.
77.
No.
69.
No.
81?
No.
That was my...
Those
I
three
had,
pieces,
did 3.
yeah.
Well, Jay, you were the closest. It was actually 1970.
I just wanted to say 69 so bad.
Well, you did it. Good job, everyone. All right, next up, number 6. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
65.
Ooh,
Oh, not 65.
so confident.
You know, ironically, this song is back to number 1 on the charts after so many years.
Really?
58.
Uh-huh.
That's right. 1958.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow. Damn.
Because I think
That's
it's
a
been
good
after
guess.
65 years, and suddenly I was like, wait a minute, I can't say that number because I have to remember if it was 65 or 55.
All I can think of with that song is just whenever you get to that part where it's just, later we'll have some pumpkin pie. But when you listen to like the original audio, it's just like, later we'll have some fucking pie and we'll do some caroling.
I was thinking Home Alone whenever he's trying to scare off the bad guys. And
The
he's
Wet
got
Bandits.
The Wet Bandits. That was the first one.
He's got Michael Jordan on a little model train. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Got all the lights on in the house, makes it look like a party's happening. I just watched it.
Alrighty. Next up, number 7. Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney.
Oh, 62.
Oh, God.
No, not 62.
Is that like 82?
Nope, not 82.
75.
No.
78.
No.
77.
Nope.
88.
No. Oh, you guys were so close. 1979.
Damn. So
And I said
Jay
78,
got it.
right?
78, yep.
All right, number 8. Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson.
2005.
No.
2013.
That's right. 2013.
Wow. Good job, Jay.
That's one of my
Thanks.
favorites, actually. I like that song a lot.
I was like sitting there going, when do I remember it coming out? And what was I
That's
driving?
almost as impressive as if you had guessed Rocking Around the Christmas Tree the first time.
Yeah,
that would be
okay.
like way more impressive than what you did, but that's pretty close.
All right, so next up, number 9. Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms.
Who?
56.
No.
57.
1957.
What? I didn't even get to guess.
Jay's like,
Well-
yeah, I just had lunch with Bobby last week.
And he was like, do you remember that 1957 hit, Jingle Bell Rock? And I was like, oh my God. Hello, Reggie. How are you?
Oh, hi,
Joining
Reggie.
me in recording. Am I not giving you enough attention? You made an appearance. Are you happy now?
Look at that stupid face.
No,
he's
he's
so
gonna. Oh, there goes my mic. Okay, you gotta stand back, sweet boy. You gotta stand back, sweet boy.
I've been listening to the Beastie Boys, and I have to commit a sabotage. Anyways, what's the next one? Shut up and
All
kick
right.
my ass.
Next up, number 10. Step Into Christmas by Elton John.
1974.
No.
78.
Nope.
1976.
76.
Jay
I
said it
heard
first.
Jay first on 76, so Anthony, you get another guess.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn it!
Because it
I
wasn't
was
right.
over here like I won.
75.
No, not 1975.
Oh, okay. Was that 3? I think I guessed 3.
1979. That's my third.
No, sadly, it was 1973.
Oh,
Oh, I guessed 74, didn't I?
You did, I think.
I think so because I think I did 5 and then you did 4.
Yeah.
that sounds right.
Yeah, so that one goes to Anthony.
Good job, Anthony.
You reserve the right to change that ruling if you go back and listen to it, and that's not at all what I said, because I don't remember.
Fuck it, it's Christmas tomorrow, whatever.
Also, I
I
apologize.
think Jay's going to
right.
win
if you hear any-
anyways.
If you hear any background noises, Reggie decided to play with all his toys right now, and
Oh,
I'm
I
not
heard
in
him
a room
just
shut
now
off.
for the first time.
So,
The perils of filming before your real, authentic fireplace.
yes. I'm out in the living room where Reggie normally is, and he's like, I'm going to play right now.
Okay, moving right along. Number 11, Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes.
Sleigh ride. 63.
Holy shit, that's correct.
Nice. I don't even know who the Ronettes are, and I don't even know that song, I don't think. I probably would if I heard it.
Their top hit is Be My Baby, the one that's like, Be my baby.
Be my little baby.
Okay.
Sleigh Ride is their second most popular hit.
I think they also sang, I may be confusing it with somebody else, but there's a marshmallow world in the springtime or winter. La, da, dun, da, 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 dun. I think that's them. But anyway, sorry.
There's a version of that they play in the episode of Malcolm in the Middle where his mom goes crazy in the parking lot with that other lady and they have
Love
it out.
that one. Yeah.
And Marshmallow World plays in the background. It's just
Love
magical.
that song so much with that part of the show.
That's this week's Impulse section, something to check out, Beardos. Malcolm in the Middle. Mom goes crazy in the parking lot.
Road rage.
How very fitting for this time of year. All right. Moving right along. Number 12. An Old-Fashioned Christmas by Linda Bennett.
Oh, I hate that one. It's like 1974.
No, it's not 1974.
75.
It is 1975.
I'm glad.
Oh my God, this just can't happen. Oh, it's become one of my favorites.
Walk me down the aisle.
I've just been handed this bulletin.
You're listening
There were
to
no
it, and
survivors.
and I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this
Oh
song?
my God, it's just a
We
clusterfuck.
just received word that the number 5 bus has no survivors.
It smashed into a tree after skidding on a patch of ice.
Well, thank God Daddy's here, and we're going to have a real regular Christmas, and the rest of those people can go fuck themselves.
I missed the bus and my life is great.
Ugh.
God, perfect
Anyways.
in every way. All right,
There's, yeah.
all right. Our final entry on the list. Hey Sis, It's Christmas by RuPaul.
Whoa.
2009.
No,
2019.
no, it's not 2019.
2022.
No, not 2022.
2015.
No, not 2015.
2021.
No,
2007.
nope. Hey Sis, It's Christmas by RuPaul came out in 2018.
Oh.
Oh. So I get that, right? Because I guess 2019?
Yeah, you guys 2019 and I
I'm
I was
sure
almost
so,
like,
yeah.
no.
So
Hey sis,
I was
fuck
trying
you.
to remember when that RuPaul Christmas movie came out, the first one, because I just assumed it was related to that movie. And I've only seen one RuPaul Christmas movie, and it was, I don't remember which year it was. But, y'all, RuPaul does not film at the same time as everyone else. Watch those movies. They're bad. They're good in that they're bad. It's wild. I'm just like, wow. Filming with other people is beneath you, RuPaul? Does this have to do with the fracking?
Well, Beardos, that's the end of our final game of Season 3, and the final scores come out to Anthony with 5 and Jay with 8, making him our Christmas champion.
Ooh, is that how
I'm
many
not
games have I won? Oh,
The son of a
I guess
bitch
last
did
week
it.
was a Mad Lib. The son of a bitch.
The son of a Grinch did it.
Oh, you know
Oh,
what? It's
No,
next
what?
year that I'm thinking of the bingo cards because I was like, oh, we can start counting this my 3 consecutive games.
Nope. Sorry.
No, I just wasted all
No.
that time for nothing.
Weirdos, get at us with bingo square suggestions, please. Just drop them however you want. Voicemails, beardsandsunders@gmail.com, through the socials, whatever works for you.
yes, please, because with this being the last episode of the year, I can confidently say that we did not get a single bingo this year.
None of us got
Nope.
a bingo.
Not unless a lot of things happen between this day that we are recording and Sunday.
But, Beardos, that means we're going to start up Season 4 next year in January with our construction of the 2024 bingo cards. So we want to hear from you. What do you think should be on the cards? What do you think we can achieve next year?
And just so you guys are aware, we will be taking next week off, so don't look for an episode then. We are taking some time to ourselves for the holidays.
We wish all of you the very happiest of holidays, safe travels if you're traveling. We hope you have a wonderful time, and we can't wait to see you guys in Season 4.
Anyways, Beardos, I think I hear the music coming back on, and it's still Mariah Carey, and I really, really, really wish they would turn that off.
Oh my god, this music's so cummy.
It's okay, don't worry. A good old-fashioned Christmas is up next.
Well,
Oh my god!
Call our hotline to report the number 5 bus as having no survivors at 405-999-2242.
And Beardos, it's time to restock the book aisle with our Tales of Whimsy, so it's time for us to go. If you'd like to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on our social media sites for any additional sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate the number 5 bus at 0 stars for slipping on ice and wrecking into that tree and leaving no survivors. However, you should leave us 5 stars and leave a review. Those reviews are what get us found by more listeners like you. We would also appreciate it if just each one of you would tell a friend about the podcast. That would double our growth.
And while you're writing a review about the number 5 bus, go ahead and hop on over to beardsandsundries.com. Check out our website, read about us, listen to our most recent episodes, look at the coming snow on the screen. You'll love it. Also, go check out our TikTok, our Instagram, our Facebook, and our Threads. I am very busy on Threads lately, so if you want to get involved, give me a shout over there. Oh, and don't forget to email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com.
So, Beardos, from the end of Season 3 and the end of 2023 here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to...
love yourself.
Because we already love you more than Jay.
What? I love him mostest.
Happy holidays, Beardo.
Happy holidays so much.
See you next year.